All right, welcome to episode 12 of Andrew's Sports Zone. We're back here again. Today is Thursday, December 4th, 2025. And you want to open us up with your claim
my
here.
initial comments here. So, quiz for you. What do Tom Brady, Jim Kelly, Roger Staubach, Terry Bradshaw, Andrew Luck, Joe Namath, and Aaron Rodgers all have in common?
They all wore number 12.
Episode 12.
All right, so
welcome to episode 12.
Yeah, happy episode 12.
Episode.
Well, we're very happy to be back here. Took a week off. We were in Niskayuna, New York, visiting family for Thanksgiving.
Yep, that was fun.
So unfortunately, we weren't able to cover the Thanksgiving football game, but it's always nice to see family over there and just relax and watch football on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, lots to be thankful for, huh?
Yeah.
Any ideas of what you're thankful for? I'll tell you what I'm thankful for. I mean, it's an exciting time of year because you're waiting on college decisions and things, and it's that magical time where you want to kind of stop the clock and just enjoy it, because we're gonna know pretty soon. But that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for Tin, my wife, your mom, and how hard she works, and she's always supporting us and things, and just thankful for you and all kinds of things. So it was a great Thanksgiving for me.
Yeah, it was, and very grateful to be here with you doing this podcast. And yeah, it's
I'm thankful for the BevCam people and all the support they give us as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's I also want the time to go down though. I'm waiting for the decision. You got a countdown, but that's pretty fun. But we'll move into some sports stuff. Speaking of Thanksgiving, the varsity football team won their Thanksgiving Day matchup. The noted rivalry of Massachusetts, the Thanksgiving Day matchup against Salem.
Excellent.
This time it was at Hurd Stadium, 34-8. They did win last year down there at Bertram Field. This was Beverly's 127th time of playing the Thanksgiving game, and the Panthers retain the Veterans Memorial Bridge Trophy for the second straight year.
127th time. I was really surprised when I read that today.
Yeah, just a quick comment. When I was playing football, I was in the field house a lot in my school, and they have the thing hanging up, the 100th football matchup against Beverly and Salem, and I just I was like, wow, it's been 100 years of doing that against these two teams. And like I mentioned last episode, maybe I was in my history of Beverly class. I was reading about some old Beverly football games that they've been playing for a while. So it's really cool to cover such a historic franchise. We have won a couple state championships, a couple NEC championships. So it's pretty cool to see.
Excellent, yeah.
The win brought Beverly to 6-5, their first winning record since the 2018 season. In that game, Beverly got touchdowns from 5 different players, including a lot of seniors here. The seniors that scored are Daniel Pierce, Floyd White, Sean Costa, and Callan McKay, as well as, I believe he's a sophomore, Stefan Sullivan, scoring as well. He's the sibling of I believe his name was Anthony Sullivan. He was a starting running back for Beverly for a couple of years.
That name sounds familiar, yeah. But yeah, that's on BevCam. You can watch the rerun of that as well. It's a good game. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, very fun to watch on BevCam, and it's always good to see Beverly win the games. On defense, the Panthers got 2 fumble recoveries and a sack from another senior, Jerome Sutton.
Yeah.
So that was it's really cool to see all these seniors get involved.
And his name came up a lot this year.
And in their last game of the season, right?
Yeah. And where are we here? And regarding some season stats, overall QB Danny Pierce threw for 1,443 yards and 18 touchdowns this season. How about that?
Very, very good. Yeah.
Oh, we've talked about this guy before. Floyd White finished with a school record 14 TD grabs this season. And think about that. We discussed this a little bit of our last podcast, but if we're talking 127 games or whatever, that means Beverly football goes way back. Who knows how long the actual records go back?
Yeah, it's very impressive.
But still, to have a school record, 14 touchdown grabs, I mean, let that sink in.
Yeah, and it was good to see, as I mentioned over a couple episodes here, that Beverly finally passes the ball. You see what happens. They have a pretty good offense, as well as developing that committee backfield you had with Sean Aquisbon and Sean Costa. I won't be there to cover Beverly games next year, but I think they have a lot of potential, a lot of young talent next year. year. We'll see Thomas Collins. He will be a senior next year. He's going to start. Stephon Sullivan is going to get more touches. Of course, Sean Aquizabon's coming back, as well as Jordan Downey, very athletic a receiver. We saw him had a catch in a couple games this year, and definitely going to get more involved next year.
Oh, it's going to be
and,
fun.
Yeah, as well as Dante Shaw Espinal, an old baseball player I used to play baseball with. Now he plays football. I believe he's a tight end, so he'll be playing again next year. But yeah, just a lot of potential for that Beverly team to be good in the future as well.
Yeah, I was actually reading the Salem News today, and Phil Stacy and his articles are pretty good. And he interviewed the coach, and the coach had mentioned that this team, they're now at 6-5. They have the winning record. They were 1-10. All these seniors freshman years, the year you played, 1-10. So they've improved dramatically.
Yeah, it was
great progress.
I played my junior year, and it was a pretty bad season. It was like we won the first game of the season, then went on like an 8-game losing streak, and didn't win a game again until the consolations and Thanksgiving games. But yeah, it's really good to see Beverly just get back on track and be. We were a very prevalent program back in like the 2010s, 2012, 2013. So it's good to see us being back. And four seniors, wideout Floyd White, center Ricky Torres, running back and defensive back Sean Costa, and defensive end Jerome Sutton were named NEC All-Stars, as well as junior offensive lineman / linebacker Teddy Fisher. And just to take a quick comment, all these guys are pretty athletic as well. Sean Costa, he also plays lacrosse. Jerome Sutton. I'll talk about this later. I don't know if we have it in our notes, but I did see the new basketball roster came out for Beverly, so I'll talk about that a bit.
Well, but maybe I was thinking maybe we could put that off till next week. We can go do a full review of the rosters next week.
Oh yeah,
we
maybe.
Probably should.
I think
have
maybe
some time. I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, but he also plays basketball.
Okay.
And then Teddy Fisher plays hockey and baseball. So very athletic players in that Beverly program. And congratulations to those 5 players and to the team overall for getting above 500. A very, very good season for them. Next, we'll get into our What's Next section.
Yeah, so we have the new year coming up soon, and winter sports season is starting up. They have all the schedules out on the Arbiter Live. I saw that today, and you made me aware that they had the BevCam sign-ups to do the announcing and the camera work, so I signed up for a number of boys and girls basketball games. I'm going to get trained up on perhaps working the board for something. We might go over and do some hockey, whenever we needed. But that's coming up quick.
Yeah.
I think the games start on the 12th. So
that's
what I was just mentioning. That'll give us maybe a week at the next week's podcast episode. Perhaps we can discuss the rosters and what you think about what's coming up in the uptime. And we'll just take our time. We'll set aside a nice chunk to do all that.
Yeah, and I think Thursday's a really good day for the podcast because episode 13, like you mentioned here, and our notes, the game started on the 12th, so the podcast episode will be a great opportunity to discuss those rosters and what to expect for the season. Because probably, like you mentioned, Phil Stacy will probably have those articles out, so that'll be exciting to see. We'll have some more analysis we can go off of because he's such a great writer.
Yeah.
And we'll discuss ideas to improve this podcast and get more viewers, as well as episode 14 in the future next Thursday. The Beverly Panthers boys team does have a game on, I believe it's Tuesday the 16th or something in that range before the Thursday, so we can talk about that game as well. Have a couple modern sports to get back to you, like was the goal of this podcast. So it's very exciting to see. And yeah, we'll definitely talk about the rosters came out yesterday, but we'll still keep chatting about that. But yeah, Beverly Sports, hopefully we can continue our, we had a really good fall sports session, of course, having a lot of teams with winning records, field hockey team, the soccer team, both soccer teams, the football team winning record. I don't know what cross country's record was. They might have been 400 or one loss below 400. 500, I believe. And then, but yeah, a very successful fall sports session. We'll see what happens in winter sports. It'll be very, very exciting. And now we'll move into our professional segment. We'll get a bit more into other sports. Of course, we talk about the NFL because we started this podcast right when the NFL started.
Yeah.
And we love going weekly and making our picks, but yeah, definitely in the future it'll be have to go into basketball and hockey and a bit more, but we'll talk more on the 13 results. I can do half. You could do half here.
Yep.
We could also go our. Do you have our pick sheets?
Yes, I have our new pick sheets and our old pick sheets, but I've just written down the results.
Oh, well, we can. I guess we
this
can
is
go
the
on
Week 13 results that we have in front of us. Yeah. So whatever you want to do, if you want to go by game,
yeah,
and
we
make
can go.
comments, and we'll say
we
what
can
our
go
records
game,
were.
Yeah, game by game. Then we'll just do the records.
right.
Okay, so on Thursday, 11/27th, of course, Thanksgiving, they had those 3 primetime games, and I commented this before these games. These looked like great games, and they turned out to be. But first two games were close. Then the last game was a bit of a blowout. But the Green Bay Packers versus the Detroit Lions. The Packers came away with this one. The Packers, they look strong. It was surprising in this one. I thought this one was going to be a defensive battle since both these teams have very good defenses. But it was surprising to see both these teams just go crazy. But the story of Detroit losing this game was definitely losing Amon-Ra St. Brown, who I believe is out for the game tonight. I saw he was missing a couple practices. I don't know if it's official, but I just made an assumption.
Know if it's official yet or not. Earlier today, he was still marked as questionable, and he did not practice this week. I don't know the official designation, if he's definitely out tonight or not.
I think he's definitely out if he doesn't practice all week. Well,
okay.
But what we'll obviously see at game time. Of course, we're filming this on a Thursday, so
but that game,
we'll see.
Green Bay controlled both the offensive and defensive line, and just took care of Detroit in that.
Yeah,
one.
and Jordan Love 4 passing touchdowns, and I saw a stat that I think he's undefeated on Thanksgiving and has 8 touchdowns and no interceptions or something like that on Thanksgiving. So really likes that day. Moving on to this Kansas City versus Dallas Cowboys game, another good one. In this one, the Dallas Cowboys came out with this one and kind of squandered Kansas City's playoff hopes here.
We always love to see Kansas City lose, yeah.
I don't think Kansas City has much hope to the playoffs anymore, but Rashee Rice, their wide receiver 1, coming off the suspension, continues to be very, very good for them. But Dallas, Dak Prescott coming off an injury-ridden 2024, he's now an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
I think he's projected to be 4th in the MVP voting, of course, behind players like Jonathan Taylor, Matt Stafford, and Drake May. But yeah, a very good season from Dak Prescott so far. It is surprising. In this game, it was kind of different, but it's surprising to see George Pickens being such a high, PFF ranked and one of the best receivers in the NFL over CeeDee Lamb. Of course, CeeDee Lamb was injured, but when they came back, we saw more of George Pickens getting involved and CeeDee Lamb kind of taking a backseat. But of course, in this game, CeeDee Lamb went pretty crazy. But that was just something surprising to note.
Yeah.
And then in the Cincinnati Baltimore game, Cincinnati pulls this one out. The return of Joe Burrow. And this defense was very surprising for the Bengals, having a notoriously bad defense for the past 2 years. They really turned it on against Baltimore. I think they forced 4 turnovers. Lamar Jackson had a couple fumbles. Lamar Jackson just does not look like the same player before his injury. And Baltimore continues to they're hanging on to that division with a thread. Now it can go to either one of those teams, the Steelers, Ravens, or Cincinnati. So we'll see what happens there. That's going to be interesting.
The Ravens were on a 5-game win streak, and that got snapped. And, we'll see what happens with that. That'll be interesting to watch.
The last game of that little 2-game stretch, Black Friday game, the Chicago Bears versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The Chicago Bears pulled this one out. It's been an impressive season for Ben Johnson and such a weird season for Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They've been finally getting A.J. Brown involved, but it just doesn't seem to be working. Their defense is surprisingly bad this year, and Chicago just pulled this one out. It's really good to see Caleb Williams finally be good, and if Ben Johnson did a good job, and whoever the GM down there in Chicago did a good job of getting Joe Thuney and repairing that offensive line, because even guys like late-round draft pick Kyle Monangai and DeAndre Swift, who has a career 3.0 yards per carry, they did exceptional against that Philadelphia
they had a good game.
Defense.
I got Monangai down for rush 130 yards and a TD, and then DeAndre Swift 125 yards and a TD.
It's surprising because Philadelphia, they do have Jalen Carter and I forget the other guy's name, but they have very talented defensive tackles there and nose tackles. So it was a very surprise, and of course Zach Bond, a reigning top 3 defensive player of the year finish. So it was surprising to see Philadelphia do so bad, but
Yeah, and
we'll see how they do.
and we've mentioned it before. Saquon Barkley, I mean, he's limited to 56 yards rushing in this game, so he just has not had it this year.
Yeah, and I think it's you have to take into factor with that is Philadelphia's had so many play callers. They just switch play callers every year. So I think the current one doesn't really like to use Saquon Barkley as much as they did. But that's interesting to see. Do you want to discuss like the next 5 games here? We'll go back.
I'll discuss a few. This next game we have San Francisco beat Cleveland 26-8. So Cleveland last week in Shadir Sanders' debut as a starter, they ended up winning, but this time not so much. All 3 of San Francisco TDs were from short fields. That is a result of recovering turnovers, another after 66-yard punt return. Cleveland just they only generated 76 offensive yards in the second half, so they started off with a little bit. I think they scored first, if I recall properly, but the second half they just didn't have anything, and San Francisco just keeps going. And to mention, you should mention for Cleveland, Myles Garrett. He did extend his sack total to 19, so he's got.
And I saw something on that too. Like Myles Garrett's like remaining scheduled, and he's going against like Tennessee this week, who allows like 5 sacks a game. So I think he'll probably get to like 22 this week. Then he's going to just keep going up. I think he'll definitely break that sack record. Just an amazing season from Myles Garrett. In Cleveland, I think Shadur Sanders is a bit better than Dylan Gabriel. He knows how to run an offense better, but I still think he's a bit overrated. Like I saw something like
he
yesterday.
Didn't look bad, but he probably overrated.
Yeah, I saw something on Instagram where it's like, what quarterback would you rather have for 5 years, like Shadur Sanders or like this guy? And they just picked these like quarterbacks that were like 10 times better than Shadur Sanders. They weren't picking him. They would just pick Shadur Sanders over those guys. It's like he's a bit overhyped, but he's still talented. He still leads Cleveland. He led Cleveland to a win in his debut, so I think he'll be the starter for the rest of the season. So, but we'll see how that happens. Yep. In this Jacksonville Tennessee game, this one was pretty simple. Jacksonville's defense, of course, being as talented as they are, kind of shut down Tennessee completely.
Yeah, Tennessee's having a rough year.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Cam Ward. He is a talented quarterback. He knows what to do. He doesn't commit many interceptions after having a couple in the season. He just doesn't turn the ball over as much, but he just can't get anything going with that Tennessee offense. Just has nothing.
And he was sacked 3 more times the other day.
Yeah. And just Jacksonville looked good. Got everybody involved in the offense. Jacoby Myers coming over from that trade in Las Vegas, being pretty good for them.
Yeah, he was looking good last week. Yeah.
Moving on, this Houston-Indianapolis game.
Oh yeah, this was surprising.
This one was
actually
very surprising. Yeah. It was a battle between 2 very good defenses, and you kind of expected a low-scoring game, only 36 points combined. Mm-hmm. But I expected Indianapolis still to pull this one out, but Houston continues to be really good on defense.
Yeah, this was the first team this season to hold the Colts under 20 points. So the score was Houston 20, Indianapolis 16, so good defense from them. And C.J. Stroud was back after missing 3 games from the concussion protocol.
Yeah, and this next game, Miami-New Orleans. This game was in Miami's favor for the most part, but then in the fourth quarter, New Orleans had a little bit of a comeback there. But ultimately, Miami wins this game. It was a pretty easy matchup. You kind of could tell Miami's was going to win this game. New Orleans, they've been sneaky all right, but still having a bad season. They just sometimes they get back in games. But
yeah, this was that interesting game where Tyler Show was picked off on the 2-point try, and safety Minka Fitzpatrick returned it all the way down for that 2 points. So you don't see that too often. So that was the excited play of that game. Yeah.
And moving on to this New York Jets Atlanta game. This one was I'd say the best of the week. Maybe this Carolina Rams game as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this New York Jets game, they won. They beat the Atlanta Falcons 27-24. I picked the Jets in this game because I just don't trust the Atlanta Falcons. They have Kirk Cousins at quarterback. Michael Penix out for the season. Kirk Cousins is once again not good. A quarterback for them. Bijan Robinson did do good, but still.
Yeah, he did good. He got 142 yards and a score, and caught 5 passes for 51 yards. And then, so that game, Nick Folk, 56-yard field goal as time expired. And let's not forget my man, who I've mentioned before. I'm not a Jets fan at all, but I've been touting Adonai Mitchell, and now he's got his first touchdown. He got what is his stats here? 8 receptions for under 2 yards in his first NFL TD. So
Yeah,
that
I
was
thought-
the guy that dropped the ball earlier this year
I-
from the Indianapolis trade. He dropped it right as he passing the goal line. But I mean, he's a quality player, and
Yeah.
I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I'm going to continue to watch him. I picked him up on my fantasy league. I look like a genius now. He scored 24 fantasy points this last week.
I personally thought he was going to be good coming out of college. He had like 900 yards in his junior year there at Texas. But yeah, I guess it was a bad situation in Indianapolis. Of course, Daniel Jones is more of a pure passer over Anthony Richardson.
He had a lot
yeah.
more competition there. Yeah, now in New York, it's all him. You know, he steps in. He's number one basically, especially with
Yeah, and I
Garrett
think
Wilson out for so long. I don't know if he's ever coming back.
and that's going to be definitely in Indianapolis over there. It's definitely going to be like a Sam Darnold situation again, where you have this like second or younger quarterback, but you want to see what you can do with Daniel Jones. And I think the Colts should definitely look at re-signing Daniel Jones over there. But moving on to the next game, this Tampa Bay-Arizona game, both these teams are pretty injury-ridden. Baker Mayfield and Bucky Irving did return for this game and did pretty well. Bucky Irving had a rushing touchdown, and he shows what they were missing in the rushing game, even though Sean Tucker and Rashad White were pretty good for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in that game. But yeah, Arizona, Jacoby Brissett continues to be good. Trey McBride, obviously the best tight end in the league, I'd say, this year. But Tampa Bay pulled this one out.
And that's the one he had the 2-yard touchdown pass to the left tackle.
Oh, yeah, the 2-yard
Tristan
touchdown
Wirfs.
pass to Tristan Wirfs.
So if you put any bets down on him, congratulations.
Moving on to this next game, probably the upset of the week. Carolina beat the Rams 31-28. This one was really surprising because the Rams have the best defense in the NFL, probably no longer after this game. But it was surprising that they let up those 31 points against Carolina, and Bryce Young continues to look good.
Yep.
It's just a very good sign for the Carolina Panthers. You always love to root for a team like that. After being bad for the past couple of years, Bryce Young finally getting back together, and you always wish the best for him. And Matthew Stafford had a couple first half interceptions that kind of turned the tide early in the game, but the Rams would lose this one. But I still think they're probably the best team in the NFC, and I'd say they're the best team in the NFL, even though they have a worse record than the Patriots. Once again, I have to refer.
But that's why it was a surprising loss in that one. And I jotted down a couple stats that I found interesting, actually. This pickoff, again, as you mentioned, Matthew Stafford had a couple of interceptions. The first one by Nick Scott ended Stafford's NFL record of 28 straight touchdown passes without an interception. So that's a pretty good streak.
Yeah, and
there.
I saw the other one from Mike Jackson, if I'm correct, and he said like he was very respectful about it. He's like, when he's in the Hall of Fame, when Matthew Stafford's in the Hall of Fame, I'll always be remembering this interception. So that was pretty wholesome to see. But yeah, Matt Stafford, surprising, but I still think. I think that might have moved him down to second in the MVP race. I still think Drake May is going to win it because it's a similar situation to Josh Allen in Buffalo. You don't have much people around you, but you still win all these games. Even though the Patriots do have a very, very easy schedule, still Drake May is playing his heart out.
We'll get to them pretty soon,
and okay, in this next game, this was an absolute blowout. You could have expected this one. Seattle Seahawks, probably now the best defense in the NFL, overtaking the Rams. They beat the Minnesota Vikings 26-0. This one was pretty simple because Minnesota had Max Brosmer in there. Of course, J.J. McCarthy out for this week. And Max Brosmer threw 4 interceptions.
Yep. Undrafted rookie QB Max Brosmer became the first player to throw 4 interceptions in his first start since
Nathan Peterman
from Buffalo
but,
in 2017.
I think Peterman was much worse because I think
we're Bills fans, so we joke about Peterman.
I think Peterman was much worse because I think he did that in one quarter or one half.
And he had 5 of them,
Yeah, but Minnesota, this one was surprising for Seattle as well. Only Justin Jefferson and Jackson Smith and Jigba only combined for 4 fantasy points, so you could see the defenses of those teams just being exceptional. Moving on to this next game, the Buffalo Bills beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 26-7. It's good to see as a Bills fan. And the Steelers, they lost Aaron Rodgers due to I believe there's a bleeding nose. Something happened with his nose.
Oh, that's right. They kept showing him on screen. Yeah, he was looked all beat up at the face.
So they had to put Mason Rudolph in the game. He threw an interception, and then the AFC defensive player of the week, Christian Benford, had an interception, and then I forget what else he did, but he did pretty good in that game. Picked off Mason Rudolph, and then scored on the next play. So it's good to see Buffalo's defense
Buffalo.
doing a bit better.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh, it's interesting to see that AFC North's going to be competitive.
Yeah, that wasn't a terribly exciting game, to be honest. Not a lot of razzle-dazzle and nothing crazy by Josh Allen. Just kept handing the ball off a lot to James Cook, and that's their bread and butter for that game. And and they seem to be successful with that. He did get a rushing touchdown. It says it was he achieved his 76th rushing touchdown, which is
NFL
the
record.
most by a QB, NFL record. So
Yeah,
congratulations
good
to
for
Josh
him, and
Allen.
he'll definitely get a couple more. I expect him like 110 plus by the end of his career.
Yeah.
It's good to see. The next game, the Los Angeles Chargers beat the Las Vegas Raiders 31-14. Once again, one of those games you can kind of assume.
I don't
Chargers.
think I picked them.
Chargers, Ladd McConkey caught a touchdown. Justin Herbert. But the point of this game is I believe Justin Herbert stayed today with an injury. He had a fractured hand or something wrong with his hands.
His non-throwing hand, yeah.
And we'll see how that develops for the Chargers. But they had a good rushing attack. Kamani Vidal did good. They do have Amarian Hampton coming back pretty soon, so we'll see how that goes.
Exciting. Yeah, I wanted to see more of him. Just kidding. When did he got injured pretty early in the season?
Yeah, like week 5-ish. Yeah. And we'll see what the Chargers do because Jim Harbaugh, or I don't know the Harbaugh twins by name, but the coach of the Chargers, that Harbaugh, he was the coach of Michigan, and Michigan was a run-first offense. So we'll see if Kamani Vidal or whoever the running back will be in the future for the Chargers. Marion Hampton will get a lot more carries in the future like they did. They really had a rushing attack last game. But we'll see. This next game, I fell asleep in this one after the first quarter because it was a pretty boring game. But this one turned out to be one of the games of the week. This one went overtime.
I think this was the only overtime game of the week, but yeah.
And the Denver Broncos won this one 27-26. I saw both teams did pretty good. Bo Nix struggled a bit, but still did good. 3 touchdown passes, 1 interception. Marcus Mariota had a rushing touchdown and a couple passing touchdowns, or I think he had a lot of rushing yards, but a couple passing touchdowns. Terry McLaurin finally got involved. Your man.
Who?
But you kept him on the bench.
Terry McLaurin. Yeah, I'm not gonna. He comes back after 10 weeks off or whatever, and then I'm not gonna start him. But I mean, he had a good game, and I should have started him. But hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah.
Like Terry McLaurin.
But
right,
Washington's, they're gonna be. I don't think they'll be in the playoffs this year. Obviously losing Jaden Daniels. He'll be back pretty soon. Maybe the week after this week, week 15, but we'll see how that develops.
Yeah, Denver's 10-2, Washington's 3-9.
Yeah, and I think in both New England's obviously 11-2 and coming into a bye, and the Broncos are 10-2. I think the Broncos are the bit better team because once again, we live in New England, we are Patriots fans, but you got to give it to them. They have a cupcake schedule. It's such an easy schedule.
I saw some. I was going to pull that statistic out about what the records were of the teams that they beat. And it's definitely a losing record.
I saw good points that stat kind of doesn't really show anything because it obviously changes over the season. Yeah. But still, if you look at last year and then these teams who have already played and going into the Patriots game, they are such bad teams that because I believe the Patriots schedule because they had the fourth overall selection last year. And, their schedule was formatted for that, and then you see what happens when you have a good team. So I think the Patriots won't be as close to good as next year, maybe a 10-7 season. But we'll obviously
when they get a tougher schedule. That's surprising. It should be noted here though the Broncos have 8 victories with 1-score games, so they're not destroying their opponents.
Yeah,
but they are pulling it off.
Their offense is really weird, but their defense is exceptional. It's like Bo Nix is not that great. They obviously lost J.K. Dobbins for the season, so they have to rely on R.J. Harvey, the rookie. But it's been a strange offense for those Denver Broncos, but we'll see what they do in the future. In the last game of Week 13, the New England Patriots, as we mentioned, beat the New York Giants 33-15. Nothing much to say about this game. Pretty simple. The injury-ridden Giants. But the talking point of this game is obviously the big hit by Christian Ellis. A couple of them. I believe the one on who is it? Jackson Dart. Yeah. I believe the one on Jackson Dart wasn't dirty. It was
stronger than it had to be.
It was stronger than it had to be because he hit him. He was inbound, so it's a legal hit, but he didn't really have to do that. Yeah. But the other one against Gunnar Gunnar Oswelski, I think his name is.
Yeah.
That one was dirty. I saw a replay of that.
Okay, I don't remember that one. But
Head straight into the helmet. That one
Yeah.
was dirty. And if you paid attention to the game, they like showed the helmet, then it was like scraped off. Like he was head hunting in that play. They should have called a penalty in that one. But the other one that most people are talking to, Jackson Dart held accountability. He in an interview, he's like, "We're not playing soccer here." It's
I was just going to mention that he made a little dig at soccer too. Like this is
but obviously he knows it's not a dirty hit because he was doing that. He was risking a couple more yards. But yeah, definitely the one on the punt return from Gunnar Oswald, that one was not really a good. But week 13, we did pretty good in our picks. I went 11-5. You went 12-4. So very good week.
Not bad last week.
Prior to week 12 from our last podcast, I went 9-5. You went 10-4. So we're doing pretty good.
I've clipped you a couple of weeks in a row now. You're still way ahead of me, though. I got to get our totals out here again sometime. But
but we'll go briefly into our week 14 picks.
Yeah, time for our picks.
And then we'll talk about a couple other sports quickly. We'll just go quickly here. We don't really need to get just a couple notes of analysis. How about you go first?
All right, I'll go first. Let's see. Dallas, Detroit. Boy, Detroit's been struggling, and I don't want to see them struggle because I do like them. But I think Dallas is on a hot streak, so I'm going to pick Dallas for tonight. The Sunday game, Seattle and Atlanta. Atlanta's on kind of a losing streak. That was surprising how many they've been dropping. I still like them because they got Bijan Robinson, but overall I think Seattle is the better team. Tennessee Titans versus Cleveland. Oh, man, that's a couple of not so, wow. Cleveland, I guess. Yeah. Chicago, Green Bay, another strong one right there. I think I'm going to go Chicago on that one. I think they've had a good, as I mentioned last podcast, good turnover ratio and things. They just playing strong. Washington, Minnesota. I don't even know on this one. I'm going to go Washington. Miami, the Jets. I don't like Miami. I don't like the Jets. But, lately, like I said, I'm cheering for Adonai Mitchell, so I'm going to choose the Jets. New Orleans, Tampa Bay. We don't have to argue about that one. Tampa Bay. Jacksonville, Indianapolis. Now, Jacksonville's been kind of hot lately. Indianapolis got a lot of weapons. I'm going to go with Indianapolis. Baltimore, Pittsburgh. Now, that's going to be important for the season, right? Baltimore's got to win that to even be considered. I don't know if they're out of it already or not.
I don't think they won a couple games, so I think they're still in it.
Pittsburgh, Baltimore. I'm going to put a question mark next to that one, and I'm going to put a little check by Baltimore on that one. Las Vegas, Denver. Let's not even mess with Las Vegas anymore. We'll pick Denver. Cincinnati, Buffalo. I think Cincinnati is going to give them a nice run for their money. It's at Buffalo. Those fans are crazy. You got to choose Buffalo. Arizona, the Rams. As we mentioned before, Arizona finds a way to lose their games, and Rams is a strong team. Houston, Kansas City. You're never going to see me checking for Kansas City. I just don't like them. I want them to lose. So, I'm going to check for Houston. Philadelphia, the Chargers. Pause. Quiet. I'm going to go with the Chargers on that one.
All right. We're pretty close again. For the Thursday night game tonight, I have Dallas over Detroit. I think Detroit, but both these teams coming off about a week of practice, but still, I think Detroit without Amon-Ra St. Brown is at a disadvantage, and Dallas wins this one. I think it'll be another shootout, though. The Seattle-Atlanta game, this one's pretty simple. A Seattle talented defense against an injury-ridden Atlanta team. I think they win this one pretty easily. I have Cleveland beating Tennessee. This one is, I think it's going to be close, not really a high-scoring game, but I think Cleveland has enough weapons. Quinshon Judkins, Jerry Jeudy, they have the more experienced team to win that game. This game is really interesting. You picked Chicago in this game. I got Green Bay. I'm strictly picking Green Bay because I liked what I saw in the Thanksgiving game, and it is at Green Bay. And once again, I mentioned their home field advantage. Even though Chicago has been really good, I just think Green Bay takes this one out. This Washington-Minnesota game, I got to pick Washington in this game. Minnesota was absolutely horrible. I think J.J. McCarthy is coming back, but their offense just cannot get moving. I think Washington pulls this one out in a defensive battle. Yep. I have the Miami Dolphins beating the New York Jets. Another interesting one. Two bad teams, bottom of the AFC East, but I think Miami has shown a bit more.
They're on a couple-game winning streak, I think.
Yeah, has shown a bit more talent on the offense, and of course, Tua Tagovailoa is going to be better than Tyrod Tyrod Taylor. So we'll see what happens to that one, but that's going to be close. I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beating the New Orleans Saints. Pretty simple. Tampa Bay getting all their players back. They'll be pretty good. I have the Indianapolis Colts beating the Jacksonville Jaguars. Another good one. Two talented defenses similar to the Houston game last week. Yeah. That AFC South is full of incredible defenses. But I have Indianapolis winning this one. I think they have a better offense. Pittsburgh-Baltimore, once again, a really good game. I think Baltimore wins this one. Okay. I didn't like what I saw from Pittsburgh, even with Aaron Rodgers in the game. And I think Baltimore is just going to get their footing back. Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson are going to be good, and it's in Baltimore. I think I take into account the home field advantage again there. This next game, Denver at Las Vegas. I have the Denver Broncos. Pretty simple there. Incredible defense. Got Pat Surtain back last week, and Nick Bonito's still a very, very good pass rusher for them. So we'll see how that one goes. But I think Denver will probably win that game. This one's really good. Buffalo, Cincinnati. Yeah. I think this one will be an offensive shootout because both these teams have really bad defenses. But I think Buffalo wins this one because they do have a little bit of better of offense. We'll just see because Cincinnati is talented with Jamar Chase coming back. Had a good game, and Joe Burrow, obviously.
It's good to see Joe
so
Burrow
we'll see
back,
that one. I have the Rams beating the Cardinals, like you mentioned. Our Cardinals find ways to lose and just injury prone. Rams win this one. This next game, I agree with you. I have Houston winning this game, even though it is at Kansas City and they do have good home field advantage. Houston wins this one because they have a really good talented defense. If they only held Indianapolis to 20 points, and the Kansas City is nowhere near Indianapolis' offense this year, so I think Houston will be really, really good in that game.
Will that put the nail in the Kansas City coffin?
I think it will.
Oh, good.
And this next game, Philadelphia, Los Angeles Chargers. I'm going to agree with you on this one. I'm going to pick the Chargers because I just did not look like what I saw in Philadelphia against the Eagles. But this one will be interesting. With Justin Herbert's status in question. So, we'll see where that one goes.
There's 4 or 5 good games to really look forward to this.
Yeah, really good week this week.
Yeah.
We'll get into our other sports and wrap it up.
Sports.
First.
We get a chance because we haven't had a chance to talk about this one, though we watch it a lot, is the F1 racing. The final weekend. Abu Dhabi, the finale.
Yeah, and
it's not just any finale. This is for the racing championship.
I'm seeing a lot of patterns towards that 2021 season when we'll get into it a bit more. But Verstappen obviously only a couple points from first place. We saw that in 2021 too. Lewis Hamilton only a win away from getting the most championships in F1 history. But obviously he lost the race on a controversial events in that race that got a lot of people fired. But in Abu Dhabi, and Max Verstappen won the championship that year and the years after that. But this one will be interesting. The McLaren team has already locked down the Constructors' Championship. That's pretty obvious.
Races ago, they've been 1-2 all year long. Piastri and Norris.
Yeah, and but the Drivers' Championship, however, all comes down to this finale. In the running are Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri from the McLaren team, and Max Verstappen from the Red Bull team.
Yeah, so three racers in the final race to see the championship. I mean, that's super exciting. I don't know if that's happened in a while.
Yeah, it hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I think McLaren still, even though Verstappen has been racing his heart out, I think McLaren's going to take this one out just a little bit.
Yeah, well, probably Norris. I've looked at some things on Reddit and various other sources, some of these convoluted things and all the different scenarios, but it really boils down to this: if Norris wins all the points, he'll be the champion if he comes in third place or higher. But there are paths for Verstappen and Piastri. As I understand it, Verstappen can win if he wins the race, and then Norris is like fourth or lower. And then Piastri can win if Piastri wins the race and Norris is sixth or lower. Then you have some more convoluted different combinations of if this guy comes in second and this guy comes in ninth.
I don't think that second one's going to happen. So I think Piastri will probably finish in third, but Norris is going to be the saving grace.
If Norris can qualify well and just hold it together and make the podium, then it's no problem. He's got the thing, but it's going to be exciting to watch, and it's my understanding that this Abu Dhabi course does have some room for overtaking. So
Yeah.
not like Monaco and the last one in
Monaco's horrible.
wherever it was, Qatar. Where there's just no room to pass.
Yeah.
That everything comes down to your qualifying position and how you plan your pit stops. I think this one there will be some actual racing and some overtaking.
That'll be very exciting. That's this Sunday, so we'll see that. In other F1 news, Red Bull has announced that Isaac Hadjar will replace Yuki Tsunoda as Max Verstappen's teammate in the 2026 season. So I think this confirms that Verstappen might be back for the Red Bull season.
I think so. They haven't said it so much, but I think he's on contract, so he'll be back and he'll be
maybe
racing
after
alongside
the 2026 season we'll see something different.
Yeah.
But obviously well deserved for Hadjar, scoring points in that the Racing Bulls car.
Yeah, he's done
been great.
good, and it's not surprising. I mean, people have been talking about this
surprising at
Yuki Tsunoda. He's just going to be like a backup practice driver now or something next season. For the junior team, the Red Bull Racing, they're going to bring up in to play where Isaac Hadjar is now. He's moving up to the Red Bull, whatever they call it, the main team.
Yeah.
The Red Bull Racing team is going to be taken over by that position filled by Arvid Lindebald, Blad.
So young. They want someone young in there. So well, I think probably Yuki Tsunoda will be back there. And Cadillac. I saw this on the news. Cadillac is joining the F1 grid in 2026 with drivers Sergio Perez and Valtteri Bottas. They plan on unveiling their cars during the Super Bowl. So that'll be cool to see. And obviously, two veteran talents. If they can make a good enough car, that team might be in contention. Probably up there, right next to Ferrari. I'd say. I think they probably have enough money and development to beat out those the other teams there.
That'll be interesting to see the new team on the grid and some of these new sponsors and new team names that I don't really have a handle on yet, but we'll study that when the time comes.
Yeah,
before the next season, and then hopefully that Netflix show that we watch, Drive to Survive. I hope that comes out pretty soon after the end of the season.
Yeah, and just brief news. I saw this briefly. I think for Ferrari, Lewis Hamilton is going to be out for the first practice session of Abu Dhabi. We'll see if he actually races, but I'd cheer for Lewis Hamilton, but I am a Ferrari fan myself, but I don't think I'll be anymore. Just horrible management in their team. I saw a report that they didn't even fully develop their car for 2025, which is why they're so bad this season. And they've struggled immensely.
Hamilton has struggled, yeah.
Like I feel bad for him. Like Leclerc and Hamilton seem like good teammates. They seem to like each other, but they both complain that car is horrible.
And the stories I read is Hamilton's always giving the upper management like recommendations and things, and they never listen to him.
And they have the most money too. Like Ferrari gets the most money every year. They just make a good car.
We're Ferrari. We don't have to listen to you.
But briefly in other sports, the Bruins continue to be good. Top 5 in the Eastern Atlantic Division. They recently lost against the number 1 team, the Detroit Red Wings, but they continue to be pretty good, top 3 there. So it's good to see. I heard David Pastrnak will be injured for a couple of games, so that'll be a big hit to that Bruins offense. But we'll see if they keep doing good. Celtics business. We went to the game actually on Tuesday
night,
and they beat the New York Knicks. They faced the Washington Wizards today. Jaylen Brown taking a day off. Well deserved. He got 40 points against the Knicks.
He's been scoring high lately.
And we were witness to that. And obviously the Wizards are not that good of a team, so you can kind of do that. And we'll see what the Celtics do, but they're in a good position to make a play-in right now, or low playoff spot, and get Tatum back. And I think they'll make a deep playoff run. I agree with the guys on the radio I listened to with that take. For Red Sox news, they traded. I don't know if we mentioned this in our last podcast episode. They got Sonny Gray in a trade. They traded. I forget who they traded exactly, but he's a talented. He's pretty old, but still he has a lot of starts. He had 33 starts last season. A couple years ago, he was an all-star. I always looked at Sonny Gray. I remember his Minnesota days in 2022 and 2023. He was great for Minnesota, and he had a couple mediocre seasons for St. Louis, but first big trade for Red Sox, got a good number 3 guy behind Crochet and Bayo. Now only with the winter meetings coming up in only 3 days on the 7th.
I was just going to ask you, those are pretty soon.
Yeah, pretty soon. That's where we got Gary Crochet last year, and we were trying to get Joe Ryan at the deadline. Might as well go all out there.
I think we'll hear some news this year. Something.
Yeah, and I think the Red Sox should definitely trade guys like Jock Stinson, Garcia, and like one of your
I love that guy.
One of your pitchers. Like you don't really need Jock Stinson.
I know you don't.
But
the Red Sox have a lot of guys they didn't really need.
And also saw trade rumors that the Red Sox are willing to trade Jarren Duran. They're looking at one of I think they're looking at Cole Reagans of a left-hander for the Kansas City Royals in a trade right now. They would be willing to part ways with Jaron Duran in that trade. So we'll see how that develops. And also they're involved and very interested in Pete Alonso, Kyle Schwarber, and Bo Bichette, interesting designated hitter guys. They really want that offense, and I think Pete Alonso would be a perfect fit because the Red Sox obviously do not want to go on with Tristan Casas. But we'll see how that develops. We'll get some of that news to you next week because once again Thursday's episode will be really exciting. A lot of news coming out. But that concludes episode 12 of Andrew Sports Zone.
Excellent job.
I'm Andrew, and this is my dad Peter. We're very proud to bring you another episode, and that was episode 12.